So now we're on to the sewers where we're going to be confronted by Horace. Basically this entire part will be a run back through the basement and trying to get to Horace. But we can see his reluctance the entire time that he's helping us.
This place wants you, Torque. It needs people like you. Once it gets a hold of you, it won't let you go, like it hasn't let me go. I've been here a damn long time, and it's sucked me dry. I pray it's almost done with me. It's sending something after you. It let you out for a bit, now it wants you back, deep inside. Deep inside where I've been all these fucking years. Don't say I never did anything for you.
So yeah, Horace's design is very fucking creepy if you think about it. He basically died of the electric chair, so he has no eyeballs, his face is horribly burnt and scarred, and the top of his head is actually just fried raw. But in the meantime, in the sewers we will get chased by a ton of rats. You kind of just want to book it through them. I did the dumb thing and ran back into them, so don't pull like me. Just run to the ladder and get out of there as soon as possible. Otherwise you will end up with no pills and a absolutely terrible time where everything will be coming to try and kill you. But now we have Festers as a normal enemy, but they don't send them in droves like they did before, so they are easy enough to get rid of. And as for the kamikaze rats, we just move to the left or the right whenever they're getting closer, and they will fly themselves into the nearest object, explode, and die. Which is very handy. But again, our only methods of hurting a Fester are Molotovs, explosives, or the fire axe. We can't use bullets on them. And we can also get rid of their rats whenever they are coming out of the corpse. Molotovs are pretty good at that. But if anybody has watched the previous parts, I made mention of being careful with explosives around other explosives. If you notice the conveniently placed TNT crate to my right here, yeah, you'll probably get a pretty good idea where that warning comes from very shortly. AKA, yeah, I blew myself up. So, explosives? Very dangerous. Especially around other explosives. Again, I don't like to edit things to make myself look better, so I will take that death. I will take the L, so to speak. And it is a pretty good indicator and warning to not pull a me and blow yourself up. Explosives, very dangerous. So, yeah, in case you didn't know, explosives hurt. It's kind of like touching fire and saying, fire hot. So, just don't pull a me. Don't blow yourself up. That's a bad idea. Glad to help spread that message. Honestly, the best thing to do in this room would probably be to just get to the far corner and then get rid of the TNT. That way you don't have to worry about a whole lot. In the meantime, all we've really got to worry about are mainliners, but I do end up using Molotovs on them. So, it does help quite a bit. I do almost blow myself up again because I'm a genius, but yeah. Don't blow yourself up. Just sage words. But now we have absolutely no pills and we are in a room with two junkies that want us to die. So this is an interesting situation. But it is what I live for in these kinds of games, where your back is against the wall and you're absolutely sure you're screwed. Because it does make for an interesting time. But here, I just go around the corner so any darts coming my way won't hit me, and then use insanity mode. Again, if you haven't watched the other parts, mainliners, the needle guys, ranged attacks will instantly cancel your insanity if they hit you, so you do have to be aware of that. But we are going to be heading back into the basement area, which happened quite a while ago. So we will be taking a slightly altered path from the one that we took before through the basement to get to where we need to go, which is Horace in the quote-unquote dance hall, even though we're going to the electric chair room. And again, in these rooms, if you happen to notice, there is TNT everywhere along the wall. The US Army crates, yeah, those are full of explosives, so definitely don't want to be near those if we happen to shoot them, like so. Because that is death. Like, insta-death. If the death earlier was any indicator, yeah, explosives will just flat-out one-shot you if you are close enough to them. Like, 100 to 0, no chance, you're done. So, enemies may be a hazard, but explosives are the bigger one. In the meantime, we are incredibly low on pills, so we do want to try and find those, which we do have some over in the corner here. So that is a definite want to grab. Here, I would call these valves a puzzle, but at the same time, they're not really much of one at all. Essentially, we just want to line up the 3 doors, and it's very simple. You just put them in the middle. So as you can see, we have 2 of them lined up already, so we just need to line up the 3rd one, and that allows us to pass through. Again, I really wouldn't call it much of a puzzle. It's just kind of a interesting little working. But at the same time, I do wonder who the hell designed that thing, because that is really weird. But here we actually have a false wall, just a bunch of planks covering up a wall, so we can actually break through that and get ourselves some materials from behind it, which gives us some zombium and Molotovs, so it was really good that we broke through there. And yes, we do still have to look out for hangmen. They are dicks. But here is probably one of the more interesting rooms in the game. In the next room over, we actually have caged slayers, like almost lab-esque workings going on, like they're manufactured in a way. It's really odd. I wouldn't think that 2 guards or any guards just captured the slayers in this room. Like, this room basically just comes together in a way where it's like they were being studied or experimented on. It leaves a lot to questioning. Like, almost like some of the slayers escaped and just started wreaking havoc on the island. Really interesting. And all of the hidden army stuff and experimental stuff, all of that going on, really leaves a lot to the imagination. And again, not much in this game is concrete, so it kind of lets you draw your own conclusions. It leaves you with a lot of questions and not a whole lot of answers. But once we do get that flashback there of the army men yelling at each other, we do end up getting attacked by 2 slayers and some festers. In the meantime, we can kind of let them duel each other if they happen to be infighting. I just happened to throw a flash grenade so it stopped that fester from getting the other slayer. But then they do start infighting a little bit, so we take advantage of that. And I pull out the fire axe and start dealing with this first fester. Again, the only things we can use to hurt the festers are the fire axe, explosives, or Molotovs. So we're very limited on options for festers, but we always have the fire axe to deal with them, so that is nice. And whenever their little kamikaze rats come out, we just dodge to the left or right. But if this basement looks familiar, it should if you've been watching the other parts, because this is the basement from way back in the beginning of the game. where we first met Killjoy, Hermes, and Horus. So we're kind of going back to square one in this chapter. Literally, we're going back to square one. So we're kind of going to see familiar territory with alternate paths. But we're going to be coming up in the exit of the basement pretty soon here. Just a few rooms away. We are just going to be collecting everything as we go. We get back to the bandsaw room. There's also the marksman room here, where we first saw the marksman. And then we're going to be heading out, essentially. But yeah, this door was actually locked before, but now Horus is going to open it for us. And then we're going to be going on to the dance hall, as he calls it. So, other than that, we're just going to be leaving the basement, but let me know what you guys think, and have a good one.